So today we're diving deep into just one group, Group 162, to see who survived this musical trial by fire and who got, well, banished.
Right. And the contenders in this group are quite a mix. You've got Stars by Simply Red.
Okay.
Then there's the 2004 self-titled album, The Cure by The Cure.
Ah, The Cure. Interesting.
It's 5 O'Clock Somewhere by Slash's Snakepit.
Okay.
And rounding it out, She Wolf by Shakira.
Shakira. Wow. Okay, that is a diverse group. Simply Red, The Cure, Shakira. This should be interesting.
Yeah, the results, they really tell you a lot about the reviewer's personal taste, maybe more than the albums themselves sometimes.
Okay, let's unpack this then. Where do we start? I guess with The Biggest Loser, right? The one that finished fourth and is now out permanently.
Yep, that would be The Cure, the 2004 self-titled one. And you can almost feel the personal baggage right from the get-go in the review.
How so?
Well, it's less a review of this album and more like a confession. He flat out says he has a problem with The Cure.
Oh, okay. So bias acknowledged up front.
Pretty much. He mentions trying Disintegration before, where he says the quality of the material disintegrated. Ouch.
Yeah, ouch.
And then he tried Wish, which apparently made him really wish I had it.
So wait a minute. If he's already had these like really negative experiences and is admitting this bias, how fair can this review possibly be? Is he actually listening to the 2004 album or just, settling old scores?
Well, that's the million-dollar question for this whole quest, isn't it? He tries to be objective, you sense that. But yeah, the history seems to weigh heavily here.
So what did he say about the actual album?
He calls it lazily entitled, which is, not really about the music itself.
Right, that's about the title.
Exactly. And he finds the whole thing lethargic, like he was bored just listening to it.
Lethargic, okay. What about the music, the sound?
He kind of acknowledges it's emotionally charged and musically sound, so, technically okay. But he says it gives him a dull headache, and the killer phrase, it just doesn't go anywhere.
So competence isn't enough. It lacked direction for him.
Seems like it. Stagnation or perceived stagnation is death in this kind of quest, even the one positive he mentioned.
There was a positive?
Yeah, he liked the broody atmospherics of Anniversary, but it wasn't nearly enough to save it.
So, definitive last place. And because of that one review, no more Cure albums can ever be considered in his search.
That's the system. Brutal, like I said. One strike and you're out, potentially taking the whole band's future chances with you.
Harsh. Okay, moving up the ladder then. Who escaped elimination but didn't quite make the cut to advance? Third place.
That dubious honor goes to It's 5 O'Clock Somewhere by Slash's Snakepit.
Slash's side project. Okay, hard rock territory.
Definitely. But before he even gets to the riffs, the reviewer goes off on this hilarious tangent about the album title.
Oh, yeah. What about it?
He basically pauses the music review to explain time zones. Yeah. He points out that because there are 24 time zones, an hour apart, it's always on the hour somewhere. So saying it's 5 o'clock somewhere is, in his words, somewhat inaccurate.
He actually wrote that down, calculating time zones during an album review.
He did. Then he wonders if maybe it's just a veiled drug reference.
Wow, okay. That's quite the detour. Does that kind of, pedantic sidetrack maybe suggest he wasn't fully engaged with the music either? Maybe that hurt its ranking?
It's possible, right. But when he does talk about the music, which he calls southern-tinged hard rock, the praise is actually pretty strong.
Oh, okay. Like what?
He says Slash is on top form, and he makes a point of saying it's way better than Contraband by Velvet Revolver, which, coming from him, is apparently high praise.
Right. Velvet Revolver was Slash's other big post-Guns N' Roses band, so he liked the playing.
Loved it. He mentions tracks like Monkey Chow and some City Ward where Slash just lets loose, and especially the last track, Back and Forth. He says Slash is going so hard his bandmates seem to be struggling to catch up.
High praise for Slash, definitely.
Yeah.
But it's still only got third place.
Only third, and I think that tells us something, The reviewer clearly respects killer musicianship, really solid hard rock, but it wasn't enough to advance. Just being great at your genre, nailing those expectations, maybe isn't what he's ultimately looking for in the best album. He wants something more, perhaps.
Interesting. So pure rock energy, even done brilliantly, couldn't beat the top two.
Nope. Didn't make the cut.
Okay, so let's shift gears completely then. If raw rock power wasn't enough, what did advance? Who came in second?
The runner-up, securing the second advancing spot, was Stars by Simply Red.
Simply Red. Okay, yeah, that's a total shift from Slash's hard rock to sophisticated soul pop.
Exactly. And that contrast is where you see the reviewer's criteria getting, well, complicated. With Simply Red, the focus snaps immediately to Mick Hucknall's voice.
What did he say about it?
Called it truly excellent, effortless, and soulful. That's clearly the anchor for why this album did well for him, the vocal talent.
And the music itself. How did he describe that?
Very soulful, very jazz-like. He praises the impeccable musicianship. And there's this great detail about the piano, how it gives the album an almost bounce-like rhythm at times. It sounds, incredibly smooth and polished.
Polished, yeah. Sounds professional, but is that always a good thing in a quest for the best?
Well, here's the catch. This polish comes with a warning from the reviewer. He explicitly calls it highbrow, high-fidelity music.
Okay.
So he warns that if you, the listener, aren't really concentrating, if you're just letting it play in the background, it'll just wash over you.
Wait, hold on. That's a really interesting point about his whole method, isn't it? Is an album better if it demands that level of focus, if it kind of penalizes casual listening?
It definitely shows a bias towards music that rewards deep, focused listening, yeah. Complexity and nuance seem to score higher than, say, immediate accessibility or something you can just vibe to.
Right. So attention is part of the scoring criteria, almost. Did he mention specific tracks that exemplified this quality?
He did. He loved the opener, Something Got Me Started, calling it funky soul brilliance. You know the hook? I'd give it all up for you.
Yep, classic.
He also mentioned For Your Babies and the track How Could I Fall, which he described as all-out jazz. So yeah, an album that rewards that close listen, and that's why it advanced.
Okay, so sophisticated, demanding, great vocals, strong second place, but still not the winner of Group 162.
Not the winner.
Which means against The Cure / and Simply Red, the champion of this unlikely group is Shakira.
She-Wolf by Shakira takes the crown for Group 162, and this win, I think, reveals maybe the highest standard for this reviewer, complexity and successful genre bending.
Okay, tell me more. How did he describe She-Wolf?
As beautifully crafted electropop. But here's the key. He says it manages to be funky, but also has a wonderfully organic feel, even with all the synths.
Organic electropop. How does that work?
Well, this is where it gets really fascinating. He lists all these unexpected acoustic and orchestral instruments woven into the tracks. It's quite a list.
Like what? Give me examples.
Okay, so he mentions hearing mandolin on the track, Gypsy.
Mandolin.
Glockenspiels on Good Stuff. Actual string quartets on the track, Spy.
String quartets in a Shakira song.
Yep. Tribal djembe percussion on Why Wait. And even a bit of clarinet on Long Time.
Wow. Okay, that's way more complex than I would have expected from, a mainstream pop album.
Exactly. He's not just praising catchy songs, he's praising the architecture of the production. It's like, by putting a mandolin next to a synth or strings over electro beats, Shakira's team created something intricate. And that ambition, that craftsmanship, seems to be what he values most highly. It elevates it beyond just commercial pop.
That makes sense. It's not just the genre, but how the genre is constructed and maybe subverted. Any other standout details?
Yeah, he quotes the opening lyric, "Darling, it is no joke, this is lycanthropy," which, sets a unique tone right away.
Lycanthropy. Okay, She-Wolf, it's literal then.
Seems so. And he notes that despite all the electronics and orchestration, there are still Middle Eastern influences, and it keeps that core Colombian Latin vibe. He calls it a cross-cultural tapestry.
Very cool. Any specific track highlights?
He really points to Men in This Town as being brilliant, mentioning this bubbling crescendo suicide waiting section. It sounds like the album genuinely surprised him with how intricate it was.
And, hang on, my notes here say something about Matt Damon. What's that about? Did the reviewer mention Matt Damon?
He did. It's a hilarious aside. He writes, almost confused, does she really keep mentioning Matt Damon?
And does she? Did he figure it out?
Nope. The source material leaves that as an unsolved mystery. Just adds to the album's unique charm, I guess.
Okay, Matt Damon mystery aside. It wasn't all perfect praise, though, right? Were there any criticisms?
Minor ones, yeah. He felt the album was maybe a bit short. And he wasn't impressed by the inclusion of 3 Colombian versions of tracks at the end. Felt like maybe unnecessary filler.
Padding the track list, maybe?
Perhaps. And the only other slight negative was that he thought her voice, at times, sounded quite a bit like Celine Dion.
Oh, really? And he wasn't keen on that comparison.
Seemed like he wasn't, no. But look, these were small points. Overall, he found the album more substantive than you might guess from just the sensual stuff, the howling, the heavy breathing that's also on there.
Right.
His final verdict was that it's a wonderful celebration of a multitude of musical styles, and that complex celebration is what won it the top spot in Group 162.
Okay, so let's recap the final results for you listening. Group 162's Quest concludes with She-Wolf by Shakira in first place, advancing.
Yep, based on that complex genre blending structure.
And Stars by Simply Red takes second, also advancing.
Advancing on its sophisticated polish and vocal excellence, but with that caveat about needing concentration.
And that leaves Slash's Snakepit in third and The Cure in fourth, both permanently eliminated from the Quest.
Gone for good. And this whole exercise, just looking at this one group, it really highlights how subjective this all is, doesn't it? It brings up a big question for the whole best album search.
Which is?
When you have quality albums, what wins? Is it the highbrow, technically superb, but maybe demanding music like Stars? Or is it something kind of unexpected, maybe more fun, that pulls off a really ambitious blend of styles, like She-Wolf?
Yeah, it's that tension between, technical perfection and creative ambition, isn't it?
Exactly. And you also have to factor in that reviewer baggage we talked about with The Cure.
Right. How much did someone's past experience, their personal history with a band, just completely overshadow whatever they're hearing right now? Greenstrokes was pretty open about it, but it definitely shaped that outcome.
Definitely. His criteria are clear, even if they're personal.